Welcome. Another fabulous day in the market. How's everybody doing? Crazy day yet again. The S&P was up over 1%. Same for most of the other indices. The ARK ETF was up 5% today. It's crazy out there. Bitcoin is currently up, or it's actually down 1% on the new day. Kind of a flat day for Bitcoin. I'd actually charted this supply line earlier today. It looks like it broke out of it multiple times, but it's been a fake out every time since, so we'll see if this is the one. But apart from that, nothing has changed. I mean, I've been saying the same thing for so long now. It is what it is. Ethereum, same thing. However, Ethereum actually had a green day. Getting closer towards a potential breakout point. I mean, you could even redraw this a little bit. And you're not too far. I mean, 2 or 3% movement, you could be testing a breakout for Ethereum to the upside. Apart from that, let's take a look at some other markets real quickly before we get into stocks. Oil bouncing back. Really wasn't much technically that indicated it. You pulled back nonstop. You're gonna have bounces. You're never gonna go straight up or straight down. Even though, kind of did go straight up over here. I'm not gonna lie. So bouncing a little bit today. Nothing much that's much of an edge. I mean, a little bit of potential hidden bullish divergence, which implies that this was not like a forever top and that you're eventually gonna just make a higher low end, rally again. We'll see if that plays out, but that's only one variable. So we'll see what happens. Pretty close, like it's kind of like a bat is playing out, to be honest. I mean, it's gonna be a little bit off, but let's take a look at this. Actually, never mind. It's like pretty much like textbook. Wow. I didn't think this was gonna be a 382. Very close to a textbook bullish bat playing out on crude oil futures on the 4-hour, which is interesting. Didn't even notice that. So yeah. And let's see what else is going on. Silver, nice fall through at price action. We actually talked about these double pin bars and hammer candles last couple nights, and silver is bouncing back up. Gold also getting some fall through. We talked about this hammer last night on stream, and the 1921 support level was called when we were up all the way over here, almost testing all-time highs. That potential cup and handle, it's still potential. There's still the potential for it. The dollar, you see the last time the dollar was in this area, it did bounce, or at least the dollar currency index. And you're back testing what was once a resistance as support. This is the second time you're doing so. We'll see if it holds this time around. And that's pretty much it. Russian market still closed, and the Hang Seng Index up, pulling back a little bit. Actually, no, it's open right now. So right now it's open and it's down a little bit, it seems. But it went up about 18% since your low on the 15th, which is just, it's absurd. So nice bounce back, and a lot of gaps here. I'm sure there's a lot of gaps on a lot of Chinese names right now with how crazy they've been moving this week. What's up, Steve? Scrooge, KTF Max, DB Symbolic Bass Space says I'm up 1.2k on Tesla. Glad to see that. Shadow, what's up? Happy St. Patrick's Day. Here's one for the FTM. SDC swings, can't wait. I got it way too early. Not too sure what that means. Hopefully that's a good thing. I don't know. SDC was up a lot yesterday and up another 5% today. This swing is doing very well. You pretty much got it 3 ways. It's close. The only issue is like you're like kind of like gapping down every day. If it would have just like opened flat, you know, you could have 3 white soldiers, but you're kind of like gapping down. Typically, you just want this body to start at the end of this body, and then same thing over here. But it's a pretty similar psychology, just 3 large bodied green candles in a row. We'll come back to this, but yeah, the swing is swings up about 21% in about a week. So let's talk about the overall market for a little bit. Hit the like button, subscribe button. And there we go, we're breaking out. Yesterday I said I think that the bottom was put in back over here in these areas, and you're getting more follow through price action to the upside. So, you know, just want to reiterate, when I'm calling the bottom or saying I think the bottom's in, you know, it's a combination of many things. It's not me saying we're not going to pull back. There's going to be a pullback at some point. I mean, you're up 6% in like 3 days. Like, there's going to be a pullback probably shortly, maybe not tomorrow, but you're not just going to go straight up. I mean, if you take a look at like a 30-minute chart, you know, you've been going straight up apart from the FOMC stuff. So I'm sure there's going to be pullback at some point. However, you can't be surprised if there isn't one at the same time. I mean, we had a straight up autopilot mode back in October of last year, for those of you who remember. So the S&P, I mean, you just got to flip the switch and it goes on to autopilot, and that's kind of how it's been for the past few days. I actually mentioned that in the Discord today. So nice 3 bullish days in a row. If you watched Monday night's stream, I believe it was Monday, I said I wouldn't be surprised if you saw sell the rumor, buy the news situation, where, you know, we had the news being, it was pretty much already news in terms of the FOMC rate hikes, very, very high probability of 25 basis points on Wednesday. Most people were expecting that, and you had that for like over a month. And of course, everything with Ukraine definitely shifted that. You know, people were wondering with how everything was going there, and also inflation being persistent. You know, will the Fed kind of change their viewpoint? And you got the 25 basis points, and it's like for months now, people have been waiting for the bad thing to happen, for the rates to go up, and it finally happened. You know, the thing is, the market's always forward looking, so things like that always get priced in ahead of time, especially when you know it's happening and it's already pretty much scheduled with a very high probability. So, you know, I actually mentioned earlier this week, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if you got that and you ended up getting that. But we were already bouncing up into that meeting, so really, really good week so far. That's just kind of the breakdown overall. Of course, we had Chinese stocks going crazy yesterday, a little bit of a consolidation day for a lot of them today. But they're not really like, you know, pumping and dumping for now. They're actually, a lot of them are holding up their gains pretty decently. So that's currently where we're at. Futures, however, have pulled back. Futures on the NASDAQ are down almost 1%. So we'll see what they look like in the morning. And yeah, even if we have like a pullback day tomorrow, whatever, like, you know, after the rally we just saw, I think you just got to be grateful, because we haven't seen this type of movement in the market all year. So I'm already happy with, I pray that this is not the top and that we actually had our bottom. But even if this somehow is the exact top, and even if we pull back, we don't end up making a higher high, and this was like literally the top, I'm so grateful for how the last 2 days went. And I think that's one thing, you know, everybody always wants from the market. The market doesn't know you anything. So when you get things from the market, I think it's always good to be grateful. You know, a lot of people are doing some very, very hard work. I'm not saying trading's not hard work, but, you know, like labor, and there's people in the world that don't even know what their next meal is. So you get to sit on your computer and, you know, click buttons, and it's very stressful. Trust me, I know that. But when you have times like this in the market, I just try and think about, you know, how we had times that were the opposite of this. And that's kind of the opposite, where it can get very, very, very tough. So that's currently where we are at. I'm going to obviously break down the technicals in a second. There's something I wanted to mention. Quad witching. I believe quad witching is tomorrow. I think Chatter said that. I didn't even really realize that. So quad witching, for those of you who are not aware, is a major derivative expiration day for multiple markets. So it's very, very important for a lot of managers of funds and whatnot. They have, they might be getting leaps or whatnot, and they have leaps expiring, and based on that, they might have to do certain things. There's just so many different scenarios that come out of that type of a day. So you typically see some interesting things taking place on quad witching. I didn't put it up tonight, but I like to throw like a witch onto like the thumbnail. Some spooky things happen sometimes. You look left and your candles are starting to go to the left instead of going towards the right. Like, crazy things happen. They really do. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. It is quad witching, which I think it is. I'm just waiting for somebody to like confirm that for me. I don't know. So let's break down the technicals. What's up, Bala? How you doing? Let's break down the technicals of the market and how things are looking as of right now. Okay. First, we're going to start off with the clear stuff, the breakouts. So it would be also interesting if tomorrow was red, or even if Monday was red, if we could get a back test. I'd honestly prefer a back test here than just continuing straight up, because the more we continue straight up, the higher the probability, obviously, that you're going to pull back at some point, because you're not going to go up forever. So I'd honestly prefer, like, I don't want to just see like a crazy pump and then we just give it all back up. Typically when you have like healthy moves, you get consolidation and you get breathers. It's not just like straight up, straight down, like whipsawing action. So I honestly would prefer, every day I want the market to go up just so people make money. But in terms of like technicals, I think a pullback is actually healthy on a breakout over here. So you can get a back test. You can flip once your resistance multiple times into a support. So on any pullbacks, I'm going to be looking for a back test, okay? And if we get a back test, that's when you're going to, and if the back test confirms, that's when you're going to see me putting out a lot of swings. I kind of messed up by a day or two because of how, I'm sorry, I didn't expect the market to go up 6% in 3 days, and I don't want to FOMO into putting out swings. So I'm just kind of waiting to see when the pullback is. If we just keep melting up and we go here and then we pull back, then it's going to be a while. But I think we could see a little bit of an opportunity. We're seeing names go up 15-20% like 3 days in a row. It's not going to happen forever. However, I do think over time, a lot of these names are bottomed out, like I said. But again, I'm not really looking at the names primarily that look like they've only made 23% retraces from their COVID crash low to high. That's when I'm saying I'm calling a bottom and whatnot. I'm not talking about these types of names that made a 23% retrace. I'm talking about the ones that lost 70% of their value from the low to high of the COVID crash. Okay, I'm talking about these types of names. You all heard me say for honestly like the last month that 50-ish, it's an area where I think ARK was going to bottom. Got down to like 52, and it's up 21% since then in about 3 or 4 days. So you just got down to such, and people make a meme out of this, but you really did get down to a deep value territory. If you missed last night's stream, go back and watch the whole stream. Kriana Trades was great, but I might even like make like a clip of like just like the market segment from last night's stream, because what I said was so important. I brought up a few different graphs showing how not every, but like 12 out of 14 times you started the year this bad for the S&P 500. You had a major rally towards the end of the year, or going up until the end of the year. And then also we looked at some PE ratios, small cap, mid cap PE ratios coming down to these levels. We're a bottom like 6 or 7 times in the last 2 decades. Like fear and greed index down to like 18. Like the options market was overly bearish, right? Yeah, like today I think you had something crazy. 1 second, let me see if it's still showing the same thing. I think I saw 14% calls to puts on the SPY this morning on short-term expirations on Trading Ticks. Let me see if it still looks like that. That was in the morning though, so it could have definitely changed by the end of the day. Let's do short expiration. There we go. So if you put short expiration out of the money, short expiration calls to puts was 20% on the SPY. It does look different if you take those settings off. It's about a 50-50. But when we're talking about short term and out of the money, which means people are aggressively betting on a pullback soon. That's what means when you have that type of a number. So that was very surprising to me. And of course, you have a lot of short interest as well across the board. The easy thing to do has been to short for the last few months. So a lot of these stocks are shorted. And when you start going up, you're seeing some some insane moves very, very quickly, because it's not just buying pressure and buying volume for the first time in a while. It's also shorts covering. So, these are the things I was talking about last night. I talked a little bit more in depth about that stuff. Tonight I'm just going to focus a little bit more on the charts and explain like where we are based on just like charts. So we'll get into that. And we're going to start with the S&P 500. It broke out today from its down sloping channel. I actually shared this on Twitter. I'm not going to pull it up, but I shared like a comparison of like a bull flag at this. I mean, it's like a bull flag. It's like it was all one big bull flag, and just interesting. Like you literally tapped the 20. Like look at the technicals, right? Went down to your 23% retrace, your fib retrace, and now you're kind of breaking out of a bull flag, and it's pretty close to a bullish engulfing on the weekly. Gapped up a little bit, but it's relatively the same psychology. So it's just interesting to see that price action. This is also pretty close to like a 3 right soldiers apart from this wick over here. And if we take a look at the 4 hour, I think I showed this on stream last night. And we were like kind of running up to test it, and we broke out of this supply line today. I did not think we would break out of it that easily, but the market was on autopilot mode today, and I'm not going to complain about that. So we're above resistance on the SPY. You broke out literally today. Also on the ARK ETF, you broke out literally today. Look how many times the ARK ETF has rejected this resistance over time. 4 times. Very, very strong rejects today. You're testing it again. I don't know. You've had a fake out a couple times before. Hopefully this one's not a fake out, but it's testing a breakout of this downtrend that it's been in since November of 2021 in terms of the short-term downtrend. But in terms of the long-term downtrend, we're going to have to wait for me to even say it's testing a breakout of the long-term downtrend. I still need to see some higher lows being developed, but it's 20% in a few days is a nice start, to say the least. And another one where you're just kind of getting that 3 right soldiers psychology, just 3 open to close buying pressure days in a row, showing how quickly the market sentiment has shifted. But remember, now you're kind of, long term I still like where we are, but now short term you're kind of getting to the area where, okay, you just went up a lot really, really quickly. You might need a little bit of a breather at some point. So, you got to understand both sides of it. The NASDAQ and the QQQ, I told you all yesterday that they broke out. They broke out at the close yesterday. These broke out a day before the SPY and the ARK ETF, right? So the QQQ, the NASDAQ, those already broke out yesterday. They went up higher today. Can you believe it? Oh my gosh. And then the one that is still like just testing the breakout is the Russell 2000. And actually, was it today or yesterday? I think it was today when the SPY and the NASDAQ were red, like the large cap and the tech stocks were red, but the ARK and the Russell were up, like they were green in the morning, and then eventually the SPY and the QQQ flipped to green. So that was interesting. But the Russell 2000 is testing 2 different breakouts at the same time. It's testing a breakout at the 205 level. I've been telling you all this is the top of your range. The 1 hour, let's go over here. I'm telling you all that this is the top of your range. You've been in between 188 and 205. You're testing a breakout. I also told you that there was a 70% chance of a breakout because of this partial decline. So you have that partial decline now. And it's also testing a breakout of this supply line. So 2 breakouts being tested at the same time on the ARK ETF. And those are your larger time frames. So looking good to me. But of course, with how crazy you've been going, it would also make sense to pull back to back test these breakouts. So let's go down to lower time frames. I kind of already just showed you the Russell 2000. The ARK ETF, you can see the same thing, this breakout over here. Even on the 4 hour, it's like a descending broadening wedge that's testing a breakout. It's a little bit of a different perspective. I talked about this classic bullish divergence on the ARK ETF a couple nights ago on stream. That's playing out. So yeah, very, very nice MACD crossover to green. We already looked at that. So let's look at the NASDAQ on lower time frames. Haven't really charted this in a few days on lower time frames, but you could take a look at this breakout on the 1 hour time frame, kind of like a descending triangle breakout to the upside. The QQQ broke out of this supply line. The lump showed this to me. So a nice breakout of that. And then the SPY, I showed you all this triangle. I even put out a tweet. Okay, I made it as simple as I could, and this is really as simple as it was. Let me see if I can find this. So I put this out yesterday. I literally You draw 2 lines, you see which way it breaks out, and that can give you an edge. Can you believe that? Oh my gosh, it's not rocket science. So yeah, there you go. I'm sorry for being so egotistical about this stuff, but it's like, these are things you can learn and that people try not to learn. People try not to learn technicals, which just like, it amazes me. But yeah, said chart that, you can't actually see that. Chart this on your platform, see which way it breaks out, broke to the upside, and then you went higher. Boom. So that was a nice move for the SPY today. I've been watching that triangle all week. And that's really where you are for the market. So, you know, you can back test the lower time frames. You know, I don't know which way you're going to back test. You could back test the higher time frames simultaneously. So we'll see what happens. And that's really it. That's how the market's looking for right now. We'll see what happens. We have a lot of individual names to talk about. We'll start off with Fisker and Clove, and then I'll talk about a bunch of others. Also, I might be revealing some potential new swings in a second here. And yeah, Fisker, played some Fisker Lottos today. If you joined the free trial for premium, or if you're in premium, I told you all in the live feed this morning that I was in Fisker Lottos, and it was like low of day when I was telling you all that I got into Fisker Lottos. It was like 1160, 1170, and it made a nice move after that. Let's go over here. Made a nice move after that. It's pretty much this low. I even talked about this exact candle, this bullish pin bar candle. I literally called out that this candle took place. And I even said I added to my Fisker Lottos on that candle as well in the morning. So I initially got Fisker Lottos like over here as soon as it broke above this resistance. And then my Lottos went up like 90%, and I only sold like a fourth of my position, and then it came all the way back down. So I was like, oh. And then I kind of went back to flat on my trade, but then I added more on this pin bar, and then I took profits again over here. So it eventually worked out, but it took some patience. At least I got to talk about it on the Discord. So that was a little intraday move on Fisker today, but I also showed you all last night on stream that Fisker broke out of this triangle, and there's your fall through price action. So now it's approaching some resistance. You could see from all the way over here. We'll see if it has the steam to break above it. Clove was up a couple percent today, and it's testing a breakout. You know, it didn't really get it today, unfortunately. Just wasn't really enough volume. I mean, you could see like since this day, you've just been declining on your volume. So just need some volume, honestly, but you have very close to a 3 rising values breakout. All you have to do is just break over this. I said the same thing last night. However, it already is a very nice move since the back test of this neckline, which I talked about before it even happened. And now you're making a move on lower time frames. You're still just kind of testing the top resistance area. But even like on even lower time frames, it looks like a cup and handle, or a cup and handle and handle. He made another handle. I wish there was like, I don't know, another 2 hours in the day, because it just broke out before the close, and then the close happened, and then the market fell after hours. But that's Clove. Roku was a big one this morning. I was like literally in bed. I was like way too tired to get out of bed for a while, but yeah, what time was it? 9:46. 16 minutes in today. Keanu Trace actually brought up Roku. He was like recapping a trade last night on the stream, and I just looked at the chart on Roku and I was really interested. Go and watch. I don't know, there's no timestamps from last night's stream, but if you watched it, I was making so many like faces when we were looking at the Roku chart because it looked really nice to me. So it was at the top of my watch list for today, and I shared some Roku calls for all of you in the Discord, because anybody could have seen this with the trial, which is in the overview channel. But yeah, I shared these, and these went up fairly nicely and pretty quickly. I mean, it was like literally from the alert, like for like the next 20 minutes, they just went up and up and up and up. It was a very, very simple, fun time, but there still could be a larger move. Yeah, here you go. They went up 25% in 7 minutes, and they just kept going. And then I think they went up towards the close, they were up about 55%. So this is the week so far. These two were on Monday before I started the trial, and then all of these are from after I started the trial. So nice little 5-win streak currently. And yeah, the daily chart, you've got quadruple classic bullish divergence, a breakout of a falling wedge. You bounced off the same exact level that you did over here and over here. Looking very interesting. But even on the 1 hour, this is what I was pretty much watching when I alerted those calls in the morning. This 1 hour cup and handle formation with the bullish engulfing candle over here. Like it was trying to make a handle, and then the bulls just they just were like, nah, we don't need a handle. We'll just put out a bullish engulfing, and then we'll start rallying. And then made a nice move. So even broke this neckline on the 15-minute later in the day. So that was Roku today. Nice, not even to say little trade, nice big trade. So that was good. Tesla. I told you all that Tesla broke out last night on stream, and that I still had to test the 200-day moving average, and that today was a very important day for Tesla. And me and Keanu Trace were talking about it for a while last night. We had a whole segment on Tesla last night, and it did it. It did it. It was a very big day, and Tesla showed up, and it broke above the 200-day moving average. So you have a wedge breakout and a 200-day moving average breakout on Tesla. I've been talking about this wedge for a while now, and a potential bullish engulfing candle on the weekly time frame with potential hidden bullish divergence. So interesting stuff. However, I think AMD rejected its breakout today. So this was another one I was telling you to keep an eye on just to see if it could break out or not. Today it could not. So it was testing the 200-day moving average and its supply line at the same time. Fortunately, pulled back a little bit after that. And Nvidia broke out yesterday. We talked about this last night on stream and gave some faulty price action today. So those are some names that moved today. Also, all the swings are green today. All the premium swings, all the non-premium swings, which, the market was up 1%. So a lot of stocks are green, but nice to see that they all were green today. Let's go over the swings for a little bit. Penn was flat today. Kind of just repeated what it did yesterday. Let me fix this for a second. Penn was flat, but it did actually close slightly green. Steven in the Discord actually said this. Penn paddling for bragging rights. This was like 5 minutes before the close. It was like half a percent red, and then it just got above it right before the close. Yeah, you've got some hidden bullish divergence. I already broke down how I feel about the Penn chart for the last 2 nights on stream, I believe. So it's swings off to a nice start. Thank you for your subscription. Swings up 6% in about 2 days. We'll see if we can keep going. Facebook, I told you all the night before that it broke out that it was on a breakout watch pretty much. And or actually, I think I already told you that it broke out on the 1 hour and then it just ripped. But yeah, I told you all it was in this pattern for a long time. It was finally trying to break out, and it broke out, and it's been running ever since. So nice move for Facebook. I really wish I would have traded calls on Facebook on that. I was a little bit distracted yesterday morning and I missed it, and I didn't want to FOMO, and then it went higher today. So feeling some FOMO about this, but remember, it's not just like the short-term dragon breakout. We're talking a long-term double bottom at the PCZ of a major harmonic, like many other stocks. And then STC, another swing, was up 5% today. It's up 21% since this was alerted last week. Great stuff. There's not much resistance till the first target. We'll see if we can get there. Hopefully it does. And that's literally it. It's doing what we want it to do. The only question is, can it keep going until we get to at least one target, which would be a 33% gain. It looks like nothing, right? You zoom out and it looks like what is that? What is that little trade box? But if you zoom in, that's a 33% gain. That's the thing with a lot of these assets that fell so much. Like, the moves are going to look like nothing, but percent-wise, they're huge moves. So you got to keep an eye on them. And that's a really good start for STC. 3 bullish candles in a row. I'm sure it's getting overbought on lower time frames, so you got to keep that in mind. After going straight up 21%, so we'll see what happens. And those are the ongoing swings. I also tweeted this out last night. Let's see if we can find it. I actually hinted at this last night on stream before I even tweeted it out. I wanted to know what all of you thought, and everybody was for it except for the lump, or the guy who's in the chat right now. But I said 50 likes and I'll do it, and we got the 50 likes. So Champion Vibes Simulator ETF is going to be coming soon. Get ready for that. It's basically, if anybody remembers, we did like a stock market simulator game, like I think it was in December, and we did like a giveaway for it. Basically, I'm using like the same exact website, and it's just going to be like a private game, so only I'm in the game technically, and I'll just give you all the link to like my account there, and I'm just going to create like a long-term like ETF. So I don't want people like messaging me like, oh my gosh, why are you down 2% today? Again, I'm going to kind of take like a Kathy Wood approach to this. I'm creating this for like a long-term vision. I'm not really concerned with the day-to-day ups and downs, and oh my gosh, my ETF was down 1%, but the SPY was up 1%. I'm focused on how this performs over like the next year or so. So yeah, I'm gonna be kind of using like a little bit of less of technicals and more of just like how I feel about certain companies and how like the larger time frames look. So I'm not really going to be like going down to like the 4 hour and the 1 hour trying to pinpoint my entries. I'm just going to be cost averaging over the next few months into like a lot of these names. Again, it's not real money, it's all fake money, but you all can see exactly what I'm doing. I'm going to try my best. We'll see what happens. Long-term trading has never been my strength, Well, I haven't really tried it too much. I'm 19 years old, so it couldn't have really been my strength. I've always done, primarily it was swing trading, and then like the last 5-6 months it became day trading. So we'll see how I do. But yeah, that's going to be announced soon in the Discord, probably like, I don't know, maybe next week. I don't know. We'll see. And yeah, I'm going to reveal some potential new swings. I've actually already created a list of stocks that I might include in that simulator ETF, and some of them are potentially going to be swings. I'm not going to show you the full list tonight because I still need to like look over it like a lot. It's just a very rough list right now. Like half of them I just got off the top of my head of names that I've just been remembering for the past month or so that I think could be decent dip buys after we started bouncing. So I'm going to reveal some of those names live on stream tonight. Before we do that, I want to give a final reminder. I've tried my best. Literally all you had to do was join the trial and you could have got premium for a year for free. That's literally all you have to do. You just have to go to overview, click this button, and with like the last 5 alerts in a row, like literally if you just got one contract on Moderna or SPY or Roku, you could have got a lot of, I think I'd say right here. Roku I think was like 5 months. If you had one contract from low to high, SPY was 2 years and Moderna was 4 years. Of course, nobody played exact low to high, but like, so 4 years, at least that's a year, you know, like, so with the trial, you could have paid your premium and then some, or then a lot. But we have 1, maybe 2 more days. I'm not sure if the trial is going to be open on Monday. I know the prices are going up on Monday. I might leave the trial up for like 1 more day to start off next week. I'm not too sure. So if you're in the trial, for sure you have to, if you're intending to sign up for premium, sign up by Monday so that you for sure get locked in at a lower rate and you don't pay the price raise. So hopefully the trial helped you see what it's like, determine whether or not it's for you or not. And if you're still wondering and you haven't joined it, you have pretty much the weekend to look it over and see everything, and sign up if you want to sign up. And if you don't, that's cool. I'm going to keep streaming the courses there. The whole entire rest of the Discord's there. So many other amazing people to help you out, including myself. I'm not just in premium. I'm sure if you're in the Discord, you see me in the chats throughout the day. Okay, so find a way to help yourself. And I'm just going to put out so many different ways that I can try to help you. I don't know. That might have been cringy, but let's get back to it. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We got about 34 people in here. I look forward to seeing some of you join before the price is raised on Monday, and thank you all for the support. So let's talk about some potential new swings. Actually, I already have 3 lined up. But I don't want to show all of them. So I'm just going to show one of the swings that I already have lined up, because I feel like it might already get asked if I do take requests, which I'm not sure if I'm going to have time for. Actually, I'm probably not going to be able to do take requests, so I'm just going to show it either way. I know I'm talking a lot. Palantir. Palantir, yeah. This was shared in the watch list over the weekend. Right over here at 11:39. I was saying that I was getting close to a breakout, and now it's at 12:32. It just broke out. It broke out of this down sloping channel, and it also broke out of this kind of previous low over here. That was resistance for a little bit, and this is your highest close on Palantir since it gapped down on earnings. So I set up this swing. It's not an actual swing yet. It's only an actual swing that I've alerted when it's in either this channel or this channel. Okay, but it's just lined up for now, so I could easily put it out if I want to. And the only thing right now is it's a little bit tough to put the stop under this low, because then it's like a 22% stop, 21% stop. So I put the stop slightly under like this gap fill over here in case it decides to fill the gap at any point. And then the target I put first target at a gap fill, second target a little bit under that previous support area, and then third target a little bit under this resistance. So this is one potential swing I've lined up. It's not official yet, but we'll see what happens. You have to remember it's already up, 20% in a few days. So I want to see if there's any opportunity for a dip or not. We'll see. And what else? Clove is a potential swing for sure. Trying to see if we can break out of that, 330-ish area. And we obviously have that 3 rising values. We already talked about Clove earlier. I have 38 names on this list. 38 names are on this list that my chat is blocking, so you can't see them. But I'm going to show a few of them. I think of some good ones I could show. Not financial advice. Some of them you actually be very surprised with. Okay. And people, you know, it's actually crazy to think about. When we were in the crazy bull market from April of 2020 to whenever you want to say the bull market ended, people would get a lot of hate, especially towards the end of last year, 2021, when we were having like, I'm going to get back to this, I promise. We're going to go over the potential swings. I just want to talk about something for a second, okay? When we were having this melt up rally over here, right before the market topped out in October, and people were starting to get bearish. I know some people I could mention. One of them is actually Meet Kevin on YouTube, and some people might hate me for even saying this, but I know he was like ultra bear and whatnot, or whatever he was, but a lot of people were like getting hate for even saying that the market could start correcting and that it was possible for the market to do what it's not doing, right? And there's such a big herd mentality that just disappoints me with what I see from a lot of traders and whatnot on social media. Like, I don't know, but when we were going straight up nonstop, like people would get so much hate for being bearish, for playing puts, for shorting anything at all. Of course, you had this whole thing with like GameStop and AMC, and that was a very separate thing. That was like the shorting they were doing there was just like, it was literally illegal. I mean, I'm sure like people are literally getting in trouble for what they were doing now if you've been keeping up with the news. But when we're just talking about like regular shorting and puts, like if you're a good trader, you understand how to play both sides of the market. So I was really confused. You know, I've always been a long side trader, but I really did feel for the people who are short traders and put traders that were getting so much hate. Like, and then look what happened. Like, you know, now that they were all right, you know, nobody's going and saying, oh, great call on being right about the market falling. Like, you know what I'm saying? And people shouldn't say that in the first place, but I'm ranting, and you know how I get when I'm ranting. So now I feel like it's anybody who is saying that the market's bullish again after we just had 3 amazing days, like everybody's hating on them. And nobody's hating on me, but I've seen like other people also try and like call a bottom and whatnot. And like people are being like, oh my gosh, you're so stupid, like you're going back down. Like, these things are not about calling tops and calling bottoms. Those are just phrases that I say that other people say. These things are about maximizing when you're right and minimizing losses when you're wrong. So that's just kind of how I look at it. So, you know, there's going to be a couple names that I feel like I might bring up here, and people are going to be like, what? All that stock does is go down until it doesn't, right? All the market did was go up until it didn't, right? So I just think a lot of people don't believe in stocks doing something different than one thing, which is weird. That's just how I feel like a lot of traders have just been like that. And I know I'm not a team, but like so many people who've been in the markets for more than a few years, which is when a lot of the people I see around on social media entered the market, like literally like the last 2 or 3 years. People who've been around for longer than that, they know exactly what I'm talking about. So hopefully I'm making sense to you, but yeah. So let's go over a few more names. Sorry for that rant. I feel like I sound crazy on some of my rants, but if I make sense to one person, then it was a success. So let's see what else we could talk about. I'm thinking, what's a good one? Because I don't want to give them all away right now. All right, we'll start with this one, Tilray. Take a look at Tilray bouncing off of this previous low from September of 2020. In this major wedge, we go over to the weekly. You've got classic bullish divergence. It's testing a breakout of this larger falling wedge on the weekly. So Tilray is another one. There might be a swing out on soon. This might be included in the Champion Vibe ETF, the simulator ETF. It's not actually tradable. Let me see what else. Coinbase. All this is really done since the IPOs go down, and it's finally starting to test a breakout of a wedge, which is interesting to me. And I know a lot of people, I mean, this was one of the craziest FOMOing IPOs I ever saw. Like, everybody was trying to play the IPO that day and just dumped. But Coinbase, I think they're doing a good job. They're trying to get into NFTs as well, and I don't think Coinbase is going to go anywhere. I don't think there's anybody who thinks the crypto, I mean, there are people who think the crypto space is going to collapse, but I don't think the crypto space is collapsing anytime soon. And Coinbase is like the TD Ameritrade of like the crypto space, if that kind of makes sense. Like, that's one of the biggest stock brokerages. These guys are one of the biggest crypto exchanges alongside things like Binance and whatnot. I think Binance is like the largest, but it's obviously, you know what I'm talking about. Let's see what else. I want to do like one more. Let me find an interesting one. Let's do, and this one is, all right, let's do this one, okay? This one, Snapchat, okay? Take a look at this. Snapchat is double bottoming at the PCC of a bullish shark. Where is it double bottoming? At the previous area where it was right before it had a crazy gap up on earnings. And you have pretty much triple classic bullish divergence on the daily. You definitely have classic bullish divergence on the RSI. So Snapchat is another one that I'm eyeing. So yeah, to recap, I think I said Palantir, Clove, Snapchat, Coinbase, and those were 4 out of the 38 I have on this list. So keep tuning into the streams and you'll hear about a few more, or join the Discord and you'll see whenever I decide to alert them as swings. None of these are swings as of right now. And yeah, so hopefully that was insightful. We'll see what happens. You know, for me, it's all about reward to risk, and that's just how I look at things. C basis, maybe SPY will hit 200 moving average and then backtest breakout. A lot of people are targeting the 200-day moving average on this rally as a whole, so that's definitely possible. We'll see what happens. Futures are still pretty red. Zeke says, just wanted to pop in and say what's up. Can't stay, but we'll watch the rest tomorrow. All right. Thank you for popping in. Hope you're doing well. Really interesting. Zeke for Bleak actually shared this in the Discord earlier today. Bollinger Bands on the weekly for the S&P 500. Take a look at this as well. On top of everything we just talked about, okay? You hit your lower Bollinger Band on the weekly for the SPY. Let me see. Look what happened every single other time you've done this, all right? So shout out to Zeke for Bleak for noticing this. Very similar to the work that we do on the daily with the Bollinger Bands. So, I forgot to do this one as well. So you can see how many bottoms the market has made after hitting those lower Bollinger Bands on the weekly. And you just did it for the first time since the COVID crash. So that's yet another variable that's very, very interesting. So that's where we are. But I'm sure, you know, even looking at the weekly, you could definitely see some resistance. Like, look at this. This is like the area of resistance, I think. You know, between 443 and 454. You had this previous high from the fall rally. You have your lows from the end of last year. You have this 200-day moving average on the weekly. You have your middle Bollinger Band on the weekly. You have some highs from January. This is definitely what I think is the biggest resistance, and you're right under it. So you are approaching some resistance horizontally, even though you're breaking out. You know, you're breaking out of your wedge and whatnot. You're breaking out of this wedge, right? But you are seeing some horizontal resistance. So that's why I'm saying, you know, you definitely could see a back test, and I would like to see a back test. I just don't know if we're going to get it, so we'll see. And that's kind of how I feel about the market right now in general. It's like, it's the first time I feel like it's, you know, it's not a win-win situation, but there's a way to trade any sort of scenario that we get presented to next. It's just about the timing, you know, which is not always easy, but we'll see. So yeah, keep hitting the like button if you didn't already. Hit the subscribe button. And I think it's going to be it for tonight's stream. Sorry for the late and kind of short stream, but I think it was pretty packed. And yeah, tomorrow, final trading day of the week, quadruple witching. If you decide to trade tomorrow, good luck. And it's the final time I can remind you on stream. If you want to join the trial, this is your last chance. Join the Discord. The link is in the description. The Discord is free to join. And come to the overview channel and join the other 93 people who have joined the trial. And take a look at what I can offer here. Prices will go up on Monday. If you want to join right now, that's the second link in the description. The first link in the description is if you want to donate crypto to Ukraine. And also, I broke my phone. I don't think it's going to show here. I don't know if it's going to show on camera. Let's see. I think you can kind of see it. You can see like the white part, but you can't really see like how badly it's like cracked. Oh, maybe you can. I don't know. It's like a weird one. But basically you can see it. This is like all like, it's like the bottom of my phone that's cracked, like right over here. So it messed up my whole entire keyboard. Now I can't use like 4 or 5 letters, and about probably a third of the messages I send on the Discord every single day are through my phone when I'm not sitting at the desk. And I really can't message the Discord through my phone until I get a new one or the screen fixed or whatever I do. But so keep that in mind. If you see me like misspelling a lot, and I know I already misspell a ton, but if you see it's extra bad the next few days or however long it is, you know why. So yeah, it literally fell like 2 feet. This one has dropped from like up here and it hasn't broken, and it fell from like 2 feet today and it broke. So that's just great. So yeah. All right, now you know. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Have a good weekend, and thank you for watching the stream.